Heroes, villains, a tale as old as time, and the never-ending battle to protect truth and justice from those who thrive on chaos and bloodshed. Come with us as we peel back the mask on your beloved Crusaders of Light and dive deep into the dark and twisted abyss of the most feared and hated harbingers of doom. Follow your host, Power Maximus, and everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage, as they take a trip down the rabbit hole that is everything super. So, are you a hero or a villain? Either way, find that super suit and suit up for the Super Breakdown.
What's up? What's up, guys?
Definitely still muted. My bad. What's going on?
That's actually a lot better. I can hear you guys a lot better.
Let's go.
1 second. All right. How have you guys been?
Pretty good. Busy. Good kind of busy.
Yeah, I can see. We see. All right. For those of you who don't know who we are the Super Breakdown Podcast. I am Power Maximus, Lord Triage, everybody's favorite demigod, and off to my right, our Game Master Saiyan Jag, and we are here with the great. I swear, these guys are about. If you're not paying attention, you're not looking in the right direction. We're here with Midnight Comics, everybody. Midnight Comics. Oh, man. You guys have been up to a lot lately. A lot.
Yeah.
So, why don't you guys just give us, since we last talked, which was like, what, last month and a half ago?
Yeah.
Yep. So, just give us a rundown. What you guys been up to lately?
Of course, Soul issue 2, we got all those out. People got in the books. We got some decent reviews for that. Then I went to DreamCon, which was a whole movie in and of itself. You hit a couple school events between there.
No, not since then.
Not since then? Okay. Well, we've been working on trying to get some of our stuff in the school system, so there's that. And then
lots of writing and some other smaller local events. School events.
Yeah. And then
Kids.
And then this Kickstarter. And then dealing with kids and stuff. But yeah, and then this Kickstarter here.
Nice. So you guys are up and coming. You guys have an amazing following thus far on Instagram. This most recent Kickstarter, crazy.
Yeah.
8 hours. Funded in 8 hours. That's crazy. Now,
can't beat it, man.
Okay,
I don't know. She makes it different.
Fair.
All right. So now let's run it all the way back. For those of you who didn't get a chance to see our last interview, let's run it back. How did Midnight Comics get started?
What? Is that my story now?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, whatever. So years ago, numbers don't matter anymore. I was telling him that we should start writing our own comics because we have so many ideas and we've been reading comics and watching anime and manga, all that stuff since we were little. And I couldn't really convince him to do it at that point in time. So then a few years later, when Naruto finally ended, the anime ended because we had already finished the manga, we really started talking about why we didn't like the ending. which was Madara should have won. Everybody should have been in everyone should be in the Infinite Tsukuyomi, and Boruto doesn't exist. So that's when he finally came around and was like, you know what? Instead of keep talking about what we could do better with other people's stories, maybe we should go ahead and write our own stories. And then finally, Midnight Comics was born after pulling teeth for 2 years.
All right, now what was the next step after that? After you guys decided, all right, you know, we're in a series, we're gonna crack down, seriously do it. What was your next step after that?
Writing the stories, I think. We did that well before we actually made it a company official. But yeah, we just started writing like what are the stories that we want to tell. And of course, representation was a huge part of that conversation. Like, what is lacking? Obviously, us in, you know, the mainstream, right? So what kind of stories do we want to see if we're going to do superheroes? What is it that we're tackling that we want to see that is missing, that we haven't seen before, what have you?
Which is crazy because initially we weren't doing superheroes.
Initially, right. We weren't going to do superheroes because that dives back into the name for Midnight Comics. Midnight meaning, you know, you think darkness, nighttime, what have you, blackness. That's one of them. And then also Doomsday Clock, right? There were X amount of minutes for midnight. Okay, it's the end. But with every end, there's always a beginning that's starting, right? And so we're like, how do we tell the tale really of our blackness and rising from adversity, and now throw these characters in the midst of that and have them grow and be the heroes of these stories? They weren't going to be superheroes. They were just going to be people, you know, in these given circumstances, and how do they deal with that type of adversity? But as we continued spitballing ideas, our superhero characters came to pass, and you know, here we are.
Gotcha. Now, after you guys got the stories down, after you got together with the stories that you guys wanted to tell, how did you guys go about taking it from the paper and making it official?
Yeah, we registered our business. We, you know, of course,
the first step was the artists.
Oh, finding the artists. Yeah,
it wasn't until Unbeloved Chapter 0 was actually done
that we actually
registered the business.
Yeah,
I think we wanted a product.
We wanted to make sure to have a product first, right? So yeah, exactly what she said. You know, finished the product first, got it, held it in our hands, and said, "Yep, now it's time." And so then registered the business and all that other stuff. You know, EIN numbers, again, registration numbers, all that other stuff, and then officially announced that we're out here and was able to show that we had something. So yeah.
Okay. So would you recommend that process for anyone? Like, did you like go through, set it all up yourself with the LLC, or did you actually like hire a register?
No, we actually did it ourselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it didn't, you know, instead of going through what was the thing that everybody was going through at the time? LegalZoom? Yeah, I think it was LegalZoom. It was like, you might as well do it yourself. Like, they send you like all these, you know, a fancy little binder and certificate and stuff like that.
Exactly what you're going to do.
But you're going to do the same thing, you know, if you decide to print it out, you know what I mean? So, you know, you're still going to spend your like $100 or so or what have you, but you know, you can just print that stuff out yourself. You don't need to spend a couple extra dollars for that. So,
right. So you'd recommend just doing it yourself, you know, not even having to pay register. Because I heard like, at least in New York State, register is like maybe like $200-$300. They handle it everything from beginning to end.
Yeah, but it wasn't really a long process either.
I think if you have more like especially a food establishment, if you can afford a lawyer or to do, I would suggest doing something like that because there's a lot of different permits you got to get.
Right.
Like if you're doing something where you need permits, I would suggest maybe making sure you got a lawyer to back you up
and do all that stuff. Yeah, but for us, there wasn't a whole lot that we necessarily needed, especially since we don't have a brick and mortar either. Right. So like there might be some different things that you need, but for us, we didn't really need anything extra. So
all right. So once you guys got the business model, got it together, you guys had the product in the hand, you got everything set up. Like, what was the thing that really was like, you know, we got some? I think I feel like as creators, there's always that moment in time where, you know, we're hoping we got it, you know, we're putting our all into it. We get that final product. what was that moment for you guys? I was like, hold on, I think we on to something here.
When people started picking up Tales from Midnight 1.
Was it 1?
It was 1. When people like saw the characters and we started locking in, like, hey, this is the stories we're trying to tell. That was the moment. It was just like, oh.
And then we kept writing. I think as we kept writing, we were like, oh, well, this is good.
Yeah, that was right. Because like the manga is cool, and I'm not downplaying it. It's great. It's great.
It is great.
But it's not hitting the way that like the Tales from Midnight stories have been. You know, I think Tales from Midnight provided more of a variety. So, you know, if, you know, traditional superhero soul isn't your cup of tea and you want a woman in STEM, okay, bam, there you go, great. You know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, like there was something in it for everybody versus the manga where it's like, if you don't mess with manga, you're not going to mess with this. Like, you know what I mean? But now, you know, we have different stories going on. So it seems more, what's the word? Appealing. Versatile. There we go. That's the word. So yeah, Tales from Midnight, that dropped, what was that, September 2021? That was the one that was just like, okay, we're on, we there it is. That's what we were missing. This is what we're doing.
So this has been about like a 3-year journey for you guys? 3, 4 years?
3 as of August 7th.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Want to know what makes that so crazy? Because we started about 2-3 years ago too.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's wild. I just made that connection.
Listen, great minds think alike.
You know, the reason why I asked about the aha moment is because we recently had that aha moment. We recently had that, like, literally, dude, I woke up today and I was like, hold on a second. People are shouting us out. People are emailing us, requesting us to review their comics and their books. Where do we go from just doing like little talks and breaking down characters to now, you know, doing interviews with amazing people like yourself and people asking us, hey, I want next. So that I literally just woke up this morning with that aha moment, like, holy shit, I'm really doing something here. We're really doing something.
Impact.
So anybody that's watching, I'm telling you, just keep grinding, keep pushing. You're gonna have that aha moment. And when you get it, it's gonna feel like the light bulb didn't just go off. It blew the fuck up. So I think Triage also had a few questions as well in his lineup that he wanted to ask you guys as well.
So with the new material coming, because I understand that the books are selling like hotcakes.
Yeah.
What was it 600?
Yeah, was it?
Yeah, 600.
Okay, that's quite impressive. I salute you, my brother.
Oh, thank you.
Both of y'all, because it's a comic that it's a company that you guys made together. And I know that Tasha couldn't be there, but like from what I saw from the Instagram, you held it down. You held it down for the squad, held it down for the team.
Had to.
She had.
Now, when you're in those situations where you're pushing your own product or pushing your material, do you feel not so much uncomfortable? Do you feel pressure? Like, what goes through your mind when you're trying to make that sale?
So 2 things. Like it's easy for me because I like my background was like retail, right? So like a lot of sales and retail and stuff like that. The only hard part for me is getting out of, hey, do you want to buy this brand new product? You know what I mean? And just being like, guys, I have this awesome thing, right? But kind of what goes through my mind is just like, are they gonna like it? Please like it. Please buy it. Don't sound desperate, Lloyd. Like that's like all the things that kind of go through my mind at the same time. But when people just walk by and like just see our stuff and you see that kind of, it's definitely a level of excitement that's just like, people are actually interested in what we have to offer.
Right.
Holy crap. Like, even if they don't buy anything, the fact that they stopped for a moment, it was just like, I'm intrigued. Like from concept, talking, spitballing ideas to actually standing right there in that moment. It's just it's a beautiful feeling, I think. So that kind of goes through our mind anyway.
Okay.
I hope that wasn't long-winded. I'm sorry.
No. By all means, you take this. Go.
We talked about this before. We have
I
no
know.
problem with the rants. We'll break off for a whole like 20-minute rant during our shows.
Yeah. I've done it myself. I can't even. He records them and puts them in ads.
There we go. There we go.
Come on. The why is it Telered? Why is it that whole that whole that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But okay. So with your material and it being so original, do you think that adds to the flavor or interest that piques people's curiosity?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely. Oh, you want to take this one? Oh, yeah.
That's just
What?
like, oh, for sure, because people see it and they're just like, okay, what's this?
Mm-hmm.
And especially when we go to local stuff, people are like, oh, y'all write this.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, yeah, we write and create, design the characters. And like, oh, okay. And so a lot of people be like, oh, my son, my daughter, my grandson or daughter, my niece, my nephew love comic books, and I need them to see this.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's always amazing how people are amazed.
Yeah. It's almost this. It seems like they're in disbelief almost. They're like, whoa, wait a second.
Mhm.
Y'all are writing comic books. This isn't just another Marvel, DC, mainstream
Reseller.
thing. Like, this looks like, oh, right, we're not reselling it. Like, this is something official that you guys
Mhm.
are coming up with. Wait a second, pause. Hold your horses. I ain't never seen this. And again, mostly at local events is the reactions we get for that anyway. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
You know, I personally I can attest to that because leading up to the show, I was doing a lot of promos, going around, watching a lot of streams, and talking to a lot of people. So one of the guys that I was watching his stream, you know, I followed him. He's like, you know, what's up? How you doing? You know, what's your stream about? So gave him a rundown. He's like, oh, okay, how's your day going? I'm like, well, I'm just setting up for this big stream that I got going on tomorrow. So he starts asking questions. So I let him know, yeah, it's going to be with, you know, Atlanta, Georgia's largest Black-owned operated, you know, comic book company. And he's like, what do you mean by comic book company?
See?
Are they like a comic book shop? Or I'm like, no, they have their own original characters. They write it, they design and all that. He's make the same reaction. Oh, really?
Mm.
Mhm.
Oh, for real? That's dope. You're Black-owned and operated? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, all right, I'm in there. I'll be there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you, first off.
Absolutely. You know, now on the other side of that, being Black creators, what are some, you know, because we, you know, even in the last interview, we're just asking like about the up and up.
Yeah.
What are some of the, if any, some of the adversities that you guys have come across being Black creators in this, you know, in this stage?
Funny you say that. Was that last month we went to the various comic book shops?
That was last.
That was last month. We so as you know, we're near Atlanta, right? We're Metro Atlanta area, but we are like on the edge of that. Like, you go 5-10 minutes up the street, it's a whole nother world. Okay. Because our county was formerly a sundown town. So like, we close to
There's still
Really?
a sundown town down the street.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But we're in Clinton County now.
You just said there's a sundown town up the road.
Now,
That's-
just hold
Drive
on.
about
Because with the
15
history of
minutes up
that,
the street
let's
from us.
elaborate on what a sundown town is
Yeah,
for anyone that doesn't know.
Yeah, for those who don't know, you want to take it away? You take it away. I'll take it away. I feel like as being a Black man in America, you cannot know what a sundown.
You
Not know what a
you
sundown.
cannot, yeah.
You need to know what a sundown town is. So
Because they're still out
if you
there.
don't know, I'll tell you what. So a sundown town is essentially a town where Black people were not allowed to be after dark. Once that sun went down, yeah, if you were caught in that town, you know what? I had to catch myself. I was gonna say something, and it would have been bad taste. You can just give it up. Just give it up at that point. You know, it was if you was there, probably weren't gonna be there much longer. Kind of situation.
Yep.
So that's crazy. And
Yeah.
for those, many people don't know. There's actually still some towns, some areas that have
But you
just
don't wanna be.
forgotten
Mm-hmm.
about the fact that there were sundown towns. So
Mhm.
technically that they never got rid of that town or state law.
Well, that's also not something you got taught about in school. I damn sure
No.
wasn't.
I
I
didn't
mean,
No.
either.
But it's something
you
you
had-
think
you had
about.
told
It's
black
why
people
our,
about green
why
book
parents-
it's
what
why our
we're
parents
talking
used to
about.
want us in the house when the street lights came on,
Mm-hmm.
and that just
Mhm.
passed down.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yep.
You know, I remember growing up, I was tight. I was like, "What you mean? Before the street lights come on, before the street light come on."
Everybody's
And
still
as I
out.
got
You
older-
questioned?
As I got older, I ended up learning about that. I was like, "Oh, that's where that came from."
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
Um,
we're still close to like
There's
again
one
our
15
county.
minutes up the street.
Our county used to be one, and then there's places that's not far away from us. That's literally still on that wave.
Mhm.
So with that being said, essentially, we went shopping around at comic book shops, like calling them and saying, hey, local indie comic book and manga publisher, da 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 da. Just trying to see if you guys are looking at indie books, gave them a whole spiel, right? Now, with my name and the way that I sound with my customer service voice, I can be very misleading. So if you don't know, my whole name is Lloyd Stanley Jones III, well-known man about town. And and so I'm calling these places, and they're like, "Oh, we would love for some indie comic books, man. Yeah, it's great." I walk in there, and they see this guy or us together, and they're just like, "Oh, can we help you?" "Oh yeah, Lloyd Jones with Midnight Comics. We spoke a little while ago. Oh, we're not interested." But we were just talking on the phone. You wanted me to bring some copies with me.
Like, I even show you the material first.
I
Like,
did. I
damn.
show you what we got. You know what I mean? I sent an email with some pages and stuff too, and they was like, okay. Now, I don't think they actually looked at them because again, you just automatically was like, oh no. Now, if you would have looked at the books, you would have seen exactly what we was bringing in there, right? But yeah, like immediately, the first guy, no, not interested. Well, shoot, okay. Went to like
And
3 or 4
last
more
guy.
stores.
Is the
Oh
first guy
man,
and the last guy.
the first guy and the last guy. Yeah, the last guy hit us with a He looked at it, feigned interest. We talked about pricing a little bit, and he was just like, I only got a couple guys that come in here that'd be interested in this thing. They're black, right? They'd be interested in this, but I don't have enough of them coming in for me to sell this here. What? What? I'm not asking you to buy like 40 of these things. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So yeah, it was a terrible experience.
I felt like that was like the professional way of saying we don't serve your kind of thing.
Yeah.
That sounded like a professional way to say that.
Yeah.
I didn't know
That's
That scene from Life just popped up in my head when they were trying to buy the pie.
the scene from Life, the pie scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. I didn't know that you guys were like situated like in that area there.
Yeah, that was like that's 20 minutes from the house.
Jeez.
That's
the first one was 10 minutes from
the
the
first
house.
one was 10, right? Like we tried to stay in the
You have to
immediate
go in,
area.
go in the right direction.
But if we
to
go
find-
right, well, we would have to drive like 45 minutes to an hour. Well, the ones that we called that seemed interested that wouldn't have had that type of response. Probably we've got again 30 minutes to an hour, somewhere in that range. Opposite direction, but yeah.
So,
But probably definitely
You
worth
lost your
it.
train of-
I did lose my train of thought. I'm sorry.
because we were just we definitely did. That was shocking. That was definitely shocking to me. This one says I have a knack for shock value, and that rocked me a little bit.
Yeah.
Now from heading out, so where did you guys go from there? You got the products, you set up the business and stuff. How did you guys first start just like online selling from the house, or did you make these runs to other comic book shops to get your material out there?
We made a website. We have our website. We did our website pretty early on. Excuse me. So we created that, had it there for people to, purchase from there. But we really went to a lot of pop-up shops in those early days, which it was good exposure, I think. Of course, since we were doing the manga first, the like, hey, we're trying to bring people of color to the forefront, and they see our manga characters who aren't black, right? And they're just like, "Are you though?" And it's like, but they're Asian characters. They are people of color in a sense. You know, we're getting, you know, other people than the traditional, you know, Superman, Batman, right? We're trying to showcase people of color and stuff like that, and it wasn't sticking. So that's why
I really think a lot of them didn't really read.
And a lot of them didn't read manga.
read
But when
comics.
Tales from Midnight came out, that's when it was just like, hey, I see pictures of black characters. That's it. That's all I need to know. It's like, oh,
People who don't read comic books, be
Okay.
like, I just think this is something that needs to
Yeah.
be seen more, so I'm gonna get it to support.
so that's why it was like, that was the aha moment. It was like we're writing these stories and we're trying to showcase people of color from everywhere, right? But it was obviously the stories that we were trying to get to. And I think we talked about this last time, but the only reason why the manga dropped first because we couldn't find an artist for the other stories. And so it was just like, hey, we have an artist. Let's just get the product out there, you know, and sell that to try to fund everything else. You know, didn't work out the way we wanted it to in the beginning, but it's worked out the way that it was supposed to. So
I feel that like I've definitely been there. You know, first plan don't work out, second plan don't work out, fourth plan don't work out. Just keep trying and grinding. And because I've been there before plenty of times. I've tried so many different things, and now I just did the same thing. I've done so many things to just really like find my niche, and I think I'm there. I'm finally there. Like I said, I woke up this morning with the aha moment. And I made a video reel not too long ago on Instagram, showcasing the different things that I tried, and they all failed. And now I'm here. My team, we growing, we building, we hustling, and we grinding, and now we're on live on Kick with Midnight Comics.
yes, sir.
So from there, you guys had mentioned funding. When did you guys say, you know what, I think it's time to try crowdfunding?
Okay, that's a bit of a long short story. So rewinding a little bit, just before the crowdfunding, we did we went to Atlanta Comic-Con, which that first year, so 2021.
By the time,
yeah, we went to that, and because that was the same year that whatchamacallit. So
Yeah, 'cause we
before
still-
Tales from Midnight dropped,
we
but we had
still only had the
posters.
manga and
Right.
posters.
We had some posters, so the feedback there was really great. And so we met in person the folks over at Concrete Comics, and they gave us some really good feedback. It was like, yo, these stories are amazing. You know, like, this is what you need to do. And they kind of gave us advice on what the things that we need to try to do as we start looking to crowdfunding, right? You know, continuing to build that audience up, talking about the characters. Even if you don't have pages and stuff yet for the characters, you got a character design, throw a character bio, give the little known facts about the character, continue to build interest on those individual characters, and whichever characters start hitting, you stick with that one and you start diving deeper into that character. Of course, if all you got is character sheets and stuff like that, you're still, you know, or whatever, you're still developing the character. Tell the people as you're developing the character your ideas for the character, right? Again, to continue building that interest, and then you dive into that because you're building this audience on the things that you're working on, right? So take a conversation to Gray. Oh, she's a physicist. Oh, okay, cool, bet. Like, what does she do exactly? Talk about that related to actual science fact, right? Do all of this other stuff. You're hitting all of these various audiences until you finally have something you pinpoint on that. So a lot of great advice from them. And so eventually, like we were still scared to do it with Tales from Midnight 1. So we only just did a pre-order event directly from our website. And it was like, you know what? We have built a decent audience now. Let's try it with the manga. So for the third issue of the manga, we did do the crowdfunding thing. It did fund. It took every bit of those 30 days to fund, but it funded. And so we were like, okay, you know, that was a confidence boost. And then we were like, we know the stories. You know, we took a look at analytics, took a look at the posts that were getting the most traction. It was just like, let's be absolutely real. Okay, I hope everything is all right. Oh my
I was
goodness.
about to say that because you know.
I might step away. She'll answer the next question, but yeah, we knew, okay, we can fund. what now? What are the people looking at? And it just told us, we just kind of reflected on all the analytics that we get, all the feedback and stuff that we get. And so we knew from that point on which stories we were going to focus on. So Tales 2 this year, Soul this year, and now the Grain and Monty this year. And in October, we're going to try the manga again. So just slowly, you know, kind of tapering those expectations. I wasn't going to dive in and be like, hey, we're going to go for $5,000 out the gate. Who is Midnight Comics at that point? You know, like, sure, that's a number that we would like to achieve. But at that point, who is Midnight Comics? We got to build the interest first and showcase the quality of your product before diving deep like that. So, yeah, the small answer to the crowdfunding venture.
All right, definitely. So Tasha, what was the first Kickstarter that you guys well, first of all, what made you switch to Kickstarter? Were you guys always using Kickstarter or something else beforehand?
Kickstarter is the more well-known platform. I think the only thing we looked at was Indiegogo because it's something we had heard of a long time ago when Indiegogo first appeared. And we were just like, you know what? We feel like Kickstarter is probably the best place to stick to. There's already a lot of indie comics going on Kickstarter. People are familiar with the platform. And I think the only upside to Indiegogo was no matter how much money you raise, you can't keep the funds. So, but we were like, nah, bump it. We'll just do Kickstarter. It's all or nothing. And so we took Tales from Midnight issue 2. No, first Kickstarter was the manga, of course. And we were stressed the entire time because we didn't know if we were actually going to get the funding. We made it. We were excited. And it definitely pushed Lloyd for us to be able to do more Kickstarters. Because even after doing the manga, I think he was still like, I don't know if I want to do another one. Because it just took so much. Even now, it's like with the Kickstarter going on, it's like this is our 4th one, and it's still kind of like we're funded, but it's still kind of like, come on, people, we're not done yet. We can use as much as possible, even if we're funded already, and want to give you free stuff. Don't you want the free stuff?
Everybody loves free stuff.
Yeah.
And so.
No,
Naruto running back to the camera.
Oh, that's he's okay.
Okay.
He bugged out. There we go.
With your material being completely original and being completely your own product, whenever you're at like a venue or a con or you're trying to push your product, do you see like anyone? I don't want to say like a rival, but do you have anyone who's doing a similar thing or something that's close to it that inspires you to push harder, push stronger?
Yeah, quite a few people. Like I mentioned, like Concrete Comics, man. They in the early days, I was like, I need more comics, more product now. We got to catch up to everybody. Which they have a team. I mean, it's just us on the team. They got like a squad. But their motivation, their definitely goals and stuff like that. So when we were at Atlanta Comic Con, that was when we were just like, yeah, I want. Now we did have a bigger setup than on accident. Complete accident. They came over, was just like, yo, how'd you get this set up, man? Like, what's going on? Hey, give us advice. We said, hey, what are we talking about? But no, they're definitely heavy that their big motivation, or not necessarily rival, but we do have our like morning talks where we're just like, all right, what are we doing this morning? Hey, like one point we was like, hey, throw darts at a board. Those are that's the state we're calling the comic book shops at. And we try to give each other goals and be like, I'm gonna be the first one to knock out my goals this morning. I'll be calling by noon. What are you doing? You know, so they're pretty cool. There's Quentin over at Knights of the Abyss, man. He's killing it, man. He's got volumes out for his stuff. I think he's on volume 3.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's got some announcements I ain't gonna say here, but he's got 3 volumes out and some awesome stuff coming down the pipe here soon. So he's definitely awesome. We've seen him at DreamCon this year and last year. Juice Lee over at he's got a story called Scrap. Oh my goodness. They got 6 issues of
I just followed him on IG. I'm taking a look.
awesome, dude.
Crazy.
And what I really love about, like, he has an intimate knowledge about the story he's telling, right? Because she's an MMA fighter. You will see him not, like, when he's doing his live streams on Instagram, he's watching like MMA stuff, and then he also trains. He actually is practicing, all these fighting styles and stuff. So, like, he was out there in Texas for DreamCon, and he was out there for a week, going to different gyms, checking them out and stuff like that. And so it's just like taking that knowledge, going and actively getting this knowledge and experience and applying it into the books. That's like, obviously certain stories we can't necessarily do that with, but that was an inspiration for us to be like, hey, let's get as close to the stories that we're telling as possible by reaching out to people, right? And interviewing them and trying to figure out more about, like, so archaeology, right? I want to interview the Black archaeologists so bad, right? Because Soul's parents are archaeologists. Okay, tell me what exactly that looks like. Like, we see what Indiana Jones, right? That's not the average. Like, that's not real life. Tell me what it's like in real life. So anyway, shouts out to Juice Lee and Scrap Official and stuff. So, but yeah, definitely motivations and rivals in the game, if you would.
Well, and that's something that again, being new to this industry, that it's really making me grow a huge, massive love. Just how, like, friendly but competitive everyone is. This is our blurred community, man. Like, it's oh, you're doing this, hey, yo, I know this person is doing this, you should hit them up, talk to them, and see what they got going on. Like, we're always trying to help each other get up and get to where we want to go. And that's something I've been learning lately. Like, that's super big in this community, in this industry. Now I wanted to, for a lot of people who don't know, because I also want to make sure that this interview is as informative to other people as well. Like I said, helping people, stack their way up and helping each other out. What is that Kickstarter process? How, what is it that how do you start and get into Kickstarter? What do you need? How does it work?
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, sign up, make an account and all that other good stuff, but like, designing it is important, right? You don't want it to just be long-winded for the sake of long-winded. Like, here's this story starting from, or how me and King of Blurs, how we were joking about my initial sales pitch. We were joking like I sound like one of those old-timey salesmen, like Snake Oil's guy. Behold my wares, and like I sound really. You know what I mean? Like,
he's the shopkeeper on all your video games,
right? Like, you don't want it your landing page, if you would, or your Kickstarter thing to be long-winded like that. And so like almost not after every paragraph, but every so often we have a picture like, all right, in the previous one, the Gray Issue 0, we got to ask the question, what exactly is going on? Find out in this next issue. And then we show like an internal page of some action happening, right? And then we move over to, well, if you were interested in that, if you had the opportunity to check that one out, well, here is the continuation of that story. Show cover here. So like very minimal, maybe a paragraph or two, but you don't want the whole, every idea you had for the story for the last 3 years as your description, right? And so showing them the process, giving a little snippet here and there of a panel or something like that, but those pictures makes you want to keep scrolling like, well, what else are you about to show me? What else are you about to show me? And they might read in between, but having those interior shots or even the variant covers and stuff like that to continue building that interest, like, I want to see what the story is really about. Art looks good and all this other stuff, but rewinding back, sorry. It's not necessarily tangent, but get your account set up, obviously. Just have, give people a small snippet of what you're offering and accompany it with some good pictures, good visuals.
And check out some other people's campaigns to see what they did and how they were successful, because that definitely lended a good hand to us on the learning curve. Because the first few, we were just like, I don't know how to make this, how to make people really want to look at this and support it.
Think of it. Branding is important. I think that's the wording I'm looking for.
Yes.
Branding is important. Because we got, like there's little what is it? Not widgets, but little section tags that we have on each thing, right? Yeah. The story, right? The creators, like all of that stuff, everything just looks unified and together. You have these sections that breaks it down for people. That's just, so again, it's not too cumbersome. All that aside, though, when setting up a Kickstarter, pricing is important, what have you. But the thing that I feel like really elevated our Kickstarters was getting back into the community and reaching out to people for interviews. That was the heaviest thing. So again, that, you build your audience, but also you want to reach out to people that are in the game that have that, right? So like, I think initially the people that we were talking to were like Blurred's Eye View, HNIC, all of those folks. And of course, now we're hitting audiences that we weren't necessarily hitting in the past. So that's usually that was the game changer for us. And again, here we are on y'all show, right? Like interviews, people that we may not have met in the past at all, right? Look at Big Fat Saxon on Kick. I would never have seen them. There would have been no interaction if not for you guys, right? And so that just creates a whole nother level of camaraderie going down the line, because now we can turn around and say, hey, if y'all don't know who the Super Breakdown is, boom, that's a whole nother audience, right? And so moving that back to Kickstarter, trying to get on interviews, meet new people, and be seen. That's what's the game changer in Kickstarter, because you don't necessarily need to have a finished product, right? We've seen what I like to call the page in a promise. We've seen that, right? Where somebody's like, hey, this is what I got. I need your help to make it more.
Actually, most
Kickstarters are
unfinished works.
Yeah, most Kickstarters are that. We want to treat it like a pre-order, because I'm terrified of not having something finished when promised. So I'm like, I want everything done before I ask you anything. So anyway, yeah, there we go. I hope that. Nope, not gonna do that again.
Now, this is now on Kickstarter. Legray and Amani. Like I was there. I was on the live when you guys launched it. 8 hours. That's crazy.
Yeah.
8 hours. Like, and now you were saying that like the first Kickstarter you did was 30 days.
Yeah.
Now to 2023 in 8 hours.
Right.
How does that make you feel?
It is
a new record.
First up, right? A new record for us, but it's exciting, and at points it feels kind of unbelievable that that's happening.
Yeah.
Like, how did we get here? Right? When did people start liking our stuff like that? Like, what is this? But yeah, it's an amazing feeling. Absolutely amazing. And so just again, we know what the people want, and that was one of the things that we learned. We was like, well, let's ask what our audience actually wants, right? And that goes heavy into setting up your Kickstarter as well. If you have the opportunity, that's why we did Tales from Midnight the way we did. Let's give you 4 different stories. And so in that one book, that put us from one title of The Unbeloved to 5 titles between Soul, Gray, and Mani and the Blue Morpho. Now we have 5 titles technically, right? And so now it's like, well, what do you guys like? What do you want to see more of? And so now you give us our marching orders, and now we know what we want to do. All of it's still our passion project, our babies, if you would. So we have no problem on which one we work on first, right? And by work on, just by getting artwork done, because we've written all these stories so far in advance. So
true.
I'm working on issue 10 now, writing wise.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean? Unbeloved, the manga, I'm writing issue 11 right now. Like, it's
right
where it's just everything else is already. All I need is artwork.
Right. Like the Gray issue 1 is coming out.
Right.
Issue 2 is being worked
Issue
on.
2 is literally for the Gray
drawn.
is getting colored. It's being colored.
Yeah,
right.
It's being colored. And I have written up to issue 6.
So now it's just a matter of, hey, we just need the artwork. Which one do you want the artwork for more? So
wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Talk about a full clip.
Man.
Talking about just wow. I'm excited. That made me even more excited, because I really look forward to seeing Like I said, I bought the bundle pack, so I gotta go through again. But like I've been taking a look at I can't. That got me excited. I'm not excited. That got me real excited. Now let's break down this specific Kickstarter, the Gray and Amani, the ladies of midnight. Let's
I really like that.
give a rundown so people can understand who these characters are and their importance to your guys' universe.
That's all you, baby.
All right, so Fatima, which is the main character of Edmani, I'll let you do the Gray because it'll make you feel happy. Fatima is a 17-year-old Afro-Caribbean girl, and she's been gifted the power to control fire. But her main issue is her inner turmoil and her battle with her own demons. So, like, essentially, like, the antagonist of her story is her mind. Mm-hmm. She's going to be dealing with her mental health battle and her anxiety, her depression, and her anger issues, which the anger part of her is what really throws her fire powers out of control. And so because of that, she has a hard time. She cannot control these powers. And so now she's in danger of, if she can't get this mental side of her under control, that she could possibly destroy everything.
Now, when you say her ability, I'm thinking like pyrokinetic. I'm thinking like pyrokinesis. So is it more like Johnny Storm, Firestorm? Or is it like, excuse me, I said Johnny Storm, Firestorm. So Johnny Storm, Human Torch? Or more like Firestorm from like DC, like
or the third would be Pyro from the X-Men.
Nah, Pyro's not strong enough. Pyro.
Remember, Pyro's not strong enough.
Remember in the movie where it was him versus Iceman, they was talking about how he can't create the fire.
Oh yeah, he can only manipulate it.
He can create, manipulate fire down to the particles.
Okay, so she's a fire starter, not just manipulated.
Yes. So creation, manipulation, particles, manipulation in fire, like it's a whole thing. But we're not going to get into all of that this early in her story.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I just want to know, like, power scale, where are we dealing with? I mean, is she making little birds out of fire? Is she snapping her fingers and causing a building to explode? Just curious.
Find out next time.
What did you say, dear?
So give him the meaning of her name. I mean,
the meaning of her name?
Mm-hmm.
Her name or the name of the story?
Both.
So the story is, of course, called Edmani. Sorry, my nose is stuffy.
She's so stuffy right now.
And it's nuts. And the word Edmani actually means fire. So essentially, the name of the story is fire.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's about her fire, her control over the fire, her inner fire that's taking over her mind, all of that.
So little hint that might answer your question.
So, on top of that, not only is it called fire because her fire powers, but also that art. Yeah, that art is fire.
Mm-hmm.
That art is fire. That art style, that cover is crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
she killed that.
Yeah,
I'm really glad she did.
Yeah.
Oh, would you guys want to take the moment to give a shout out to the artist that does your work?
Yeah, I was just about to ask. Yeah.
So Wendy Renard, on Instagram.
And I think that's just her username.
Her username is
Wendy, WENDIE.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you following her?
Let me hop into here real quick.
We're about to follow her right now.
Okay.
All right. What was that again? Wendy what?
WENDIE _Renard. RENARDD.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
I would have spelled Renard wrong.
So she actually did some artwork for we kind Concrete Comics again.
Yeah.
They
She did some artwork
she did
for
some
Luna.
artwork for Luna and was just immediately after seeing that, and they was like, "Oh, she's open for commissions. Hey, are you free to do sequential art?" So
Right.
immediately we got to work on that. So.
Yeah. We just followed her, and if you guys don't mind, we're gonna in the after all this, we're just gonna go through and just gonna plug everyone in the end, and
Okay.
you know, just to get them out there, because again, like I said, that's what we're about: helping out, building up, getting each other where we want to be. I'm gonna let Chiraj take it for a moment. It's got to run off real quick. I'll be right back. All right.
Okay, so we were talking about Fatima. Now, I'm more curious about the Gray myself.
Yeah, you good?
That's my favorite.
I'm sorry,
huh? Oh,
Did I
she's
say
writing
something
both
wrong?
of them. You're good. She's writing both. I
write both stories.
So you good?
But I was just like, that's his favorite.
That's
so
my favorite.
I let him take that away, so he gets really excited.
So, the Gray, her name is Shamika Day. She's a physicist, and she has managed to basically create artificial black holes. So, how she harnesses that, she's created miniature particle accelerators. So when you turn them on, it creates those artificial black holes. And that's the energy source. As it's pulling in energy from all around her, she's able to, shoot blasts if you want, maybe shoot lasers, whatever the case may be. But she's thinking that's almost like an infinite energy source that you can use. She's like, we could really do good around the world with this technology. But that's not what we do, right? We want to weaponize it. So her employer wants to weaponize this technology, and she's like, I can't have this fall into the wrong hands. So Shamika decides to become a superhero and calls herself the Gray. And, she wants to stop this organization, her employer, from weaponizing her technology. Problem is, she can't fight. So will she be able to essentially save the solar system from her own tech, or will everything fall to ruin? That's what you're going to get in that story. So, yeah.
Well, that's one of the things I think that's so interesting about the characters, because, you don't always need to fight with your hands and your feet if you're someone who can fight with your mind. I mean, Lex Luthor's not really that dangerous, but
right. Right. You run into him in a dark alley, you're like, all right, get this man up out of here.
I mean, that also depends on if his bodyguard is around.
Right. Give that man a smartphone in 10 minutes and fuck up your whole world.
Right.
So, I mean, I do think that's very different, especially the whole aspect of her being a physicist, because that can go down a whole nother can of worms. It gets real. Because I'm a big Firestorm fan, so I already know where that can go.
Right. Exactly. So you get to see her be really book smart, but then like street smarts, you're like, Shamika, come on, mama, what are we doing? What are we doing?
But then she finds herself in a situation. She's overpowering people with 1.21 gigawatts. I know.
Right.
But how do you try not to hurt them while you do?
How do you try not to hurt them? Right. You shooting these blasts at people that's powered by an artificial black hole. How do you incapacitate someone safely? Because one of the reasons why her name is the Gray, that is it's a unit of radiation. That's another unit of radiation. So she named herself that because in particle accelerators, and to give some history on that, there's a guy that was cleaning one of those particle accelerators out back in like the 60s, 70s, out in Russia. And he stuck his head in one while cleaning it out, didn't realize the joint was on. So he got blasted on the side of his face. And so you're like, I mean, it sounds dangerous, right? Like, oh, he should be dead. He's not dead.
Yeah.
Right. Just that side of his face seemingly stopped aging. Right. Whereas the other side, started aging normally. Now, he does suffer from like a bunch of seizures and stuff. Right. But I think he's still alive, actually. So
he was a few years
ago when we was researching this. But yeah, he's still alive. Like, yeah, he suffers from like seizures and stuff like that. And like one side of his face practically stopped aging. So it's just like, okay, it's dangerous. It's still a form of radiation he got hit with, but he's okay. But that same energy, those same type of lasers and stuff is what we use to remove tumors in some of the more advanced surgeries and stuff. So you're like, there's a lot that you could do with that, but then it's also, again, very dangerous at the same time. So she has to actively kind of, she's shooting blasts, but she's also like constantly having to be like, I have to recalibrate it this way. I have to make sure I'm not shooting out too much. I got to make sure that the black holes aren't consuming too much, because science says if a black hole 1 millimeter large, 1 millimeter hits the planet, somehow, again, one of those what if scenarios, right? Outlandish what if scenarios. If a 1 millimeter black hole hit the planet, it would implode on itself faster than we could realize anything's happening. And so it's so minuscule, the artificial black hole that she's created. She still, though, has to consistently monitor it while actively utilizing her particle accelerators. So it's like the whole time she's not just willy-nilly. We watch these shows, even taking the game in the background for sake of conversation. You're shooting these key blasts and stuff like that, but imagine the math that has to be put in place. Well, I can't exceed 1 millimeter. I got to make sure I can shoot blasts out to protect myself, but I can't have that black hole absorb too much energy to where it destroys everything at the same time. So just a little added thing that's happening in the background for her. So it's Anyway.
That made me want to attack on Titan.
Now, okay. So, question.
Mm-hmm.
Has the Gauntlet's power ever indirectly gave someone else a power? Like,
that is, I can say it confidently, that was an idea in the past. Not necessarily the Gauntlets.
Okay,
but you think about it.
But there was an idea.
There was an idea with that, right? Dang, I can't say
it's like the radiation that it gives off.
I'm thinking like a Kevin 11 situation.
Right. Yeah. There was an idea about that. There was an idea. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say, because that idea is still a possibility. So I don't want to.
Okay.
But yeah, that we're on the same wavelength, though. Essentially, bro. Like that's
All right. And then the also thing I am curious about is because they say that nothing can escape a black hole, whether it be sound, light, whatever the case may be. There's no form of matter that can escape a black hole. So it's like, are we ever actually going to get to see what's inside of her black holes?
Be sure and tune in next time.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that. I knew I could just see that smile, and I'm like, yeah. Oh yeah.
They talked about the Phantom Zone, and once you wind up inside it, you're like, oh no.
Uh-oh. Yeah. We will say you were not prepared for what we have planned for this story.
I wanted to step away just so I could represent real quick. Let it be know what it is. Got to represent.
Representing. I need one of those in my house. I'm broke.
So I had to step away, make sure everybody knew that we support. We support all the way.
I need 2 flags.
You should see my office. My office, I have a flag that's about that will take up the screen. Will take up the screen hanging over my desk in my office.
The Barbados flag?
Yeah.
Oh wow. See, I need one. I need a Barbados flag, but I need an Antigua flag too, because my grandparents came over here from 2 different islands.
Yeah.
Somehow met up.
My stepson is he's Dominican, Guyanese, and Antiguan as well. So I rep that too.
Okay.
So when I get a chance, I'll go back to because I got mine from Amazon. I'll send you the link.
Okay.
There you go.
We gotta represent Iron Man. There's not many of us out here over here, so we gotta represent.
You'd be surprised, actually.
You got a lot of family.
I didn't run into people that I guarantee are cousins because of their last name. I'm just like, yeah, we're related, distant cousins somewhere. Because there's not a lot of Barbados is not a big island.
No,
and half the island is related. So if we share a lot, if you share my maiden name, we're most likely cousins in some kind of way.
And may I ask? Now you got me curious. Now
there you go.
No, I'm with the Clark with an E clan.
Clark with an E.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do some research.
There you go.
You're right. You're not wrong at all. It's a very small island.
Very small.
My family, I believe, my grandfather and grandmother are from St. John, so it's small
My
island.
cousins live in St. John right now, but I don't think that's where they're from. I had to ask my grandfather again.
What is the possibility of a crossover between your characters in the future?
Oh yes, are they within the same world or are they their own separate entities?
Currently everybody has their own separate stories, but someone did ask us about that before and was like, I mean, if we're willing to occasionally do stories with other creators, there's no reason that at some point maybe we could do like a cool story with our own.
Because I would love to see a Black Justice League kind of thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see that.
They know what they're gonna have to token.
There is something on the way.
He said have the token white guy with blonde hair.
Oh man,
Man, if we look at all the original Avengers, ain't none of them black, and no, I'm not counting Sam Jackson and Nick Fury. I'm
It
just
doesn't
saying.
count, especially if you said original Nick Fury, it was white.
right.
Yeah. Yep.
But no,
Well,
there is a story we're working on that's got a team aspect to it that you guys are definitely gonna like.
Okay. All right. I'm looking
Come through the
forward to
3-year
that.
celebration.
Because from the characters that you guys told me, I see if I was to relate them to these more mainstream characters, and again, I'd hate to do it because they are so unique and strong within their own right
Mhm.
that I would say, from what I hear about, from the Gray, if there was like a team like that, she'd be the Tony Stark, the brain
Mhm.
of it all. I don't want to hear it. We'll leave her for now. You can yell at me later. She's black, so it's acceptable.
Oh, excuse me. So she's not Tony Stark. She's Riri Williams.
There
Yeah,
yes.
there you go.
To be fair, we did a What If Wednesday where we put our characters in the MCU, and Shamika ended up working for S.H.I.E.L.D. as one of their lead scientists.
Yeah.
No, I can. Ooh, I like that. I like that. That would be dope. And then with Soul, this is the way I could see it is like
That's the one I can't wait to get my hands on. Is Soul, because Soul sounds like he can get up to some shit.
It's crazy. Like in his
He's
story,
definitely a brawler.
he's definitely a brawler. Like we tackle that because what on earth literally is going to match this guy's strength, right? And so there's no need to be his skill level. He doesn't have to learn any unique fighting style, anything like that. He's throwing his weight around and stuff. And so one of his opponents fairly early on, so it's not necessarily a spoiler, is going to be Anubis. And I'm not an avatar, not an avatar of Anubis, not somebody with the powers of Anubis. The god Anubis shows up like, hey, why are you having Mount Ra's power? Now what? Okay, and so does he have what it takes, right?
He's when we first saw him.
Oh, that would be interesting. Well, isn't Ra is one of the
gods.
Yeah. Well, even then, if I remember correctly, you guys said Soul. He pretty much he has the spirit of Ra and another god within him, right?
Mm-hmm. Amon and Ra.
Yep. See that. So that'll be interesting. He sees Soul. He's like, Ra, that you, my guy? Where you been?
I don't like this. Who is this kid? Yeah.
I can definitely see that. So I have an interesting question, and this is a situation that I've recently ran into. As we spoke about last time, TSB, we are playing around with the idea of writing our own comic, creating our own characters. Mm-hmm. Now, my character that I had, put a lot of thought into, I call his name. It's going to be, no, I'm not even going to do it because this is why I have the problem that I'm having right now. But he has the ability to manipulate blood. He has the ability of hemokinesis.
Okay.
You don't see many of that. Last time I seen essentially a bloodbender was Avatar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I start putting that idea out there, next thing I know, the boys drop their spin-off TV series
Oh,
Gen
yeah.
V, and their main character, hemokinesis.
Mm.
Have
It's
you
not
guys
your character,
ever
though.
had that issue before, or had that instance where you're thinking of a character, you're talking about this character, talking about their abilities, mind you, never seeing anything about these abilities coming straight from your brain, and next thing you know, you're seeing a character in mainstream with that ability.
Yeah. It used to bother us.
Mainstream?
Sickening.
Well, yeah, but it used to bother us because we used to have ideas, and then it's
Mhm.
just like either we sat on them too long or we brought it out too late and somebody else had it.
Yeah.
The example I'm going to use, me and a friend of mine, we wrote show the binder. We wrote a game
we
called
show
The
them the
Pandemic.
binder?
I think we showed them the binder, but we wrote a game called The Pandemic, and we was like, all right, how cool would it be? This, mind you, this is back in like 2005 through 8. What if you had this choose your own adventure type of game, right? Where your choices dictated, the ending scenario. We look at it in hindsight now. Telltale,
Walking Dead meets Heavy Rain.
Heavy
Telltale.
Rain, Detroit Become Human. That was the idea. And
I'm pretty sure you.
I think we showed y'all this before, but here is
Yeah, we
that
couldn't see it too well because everything messed up and it was
Yeah.
blended in with the black background.
So
Yeah, that's
all of this,
Jeez.
and
Wow.
thank you today. We did all of that just to see, because I wanted to be in game design way back when. So it was just like, yeah, one day. And then that came out, and it was just like, oh, well, I guess it's too late for my idea, right?
Because Heavy Rain came out, and then Walking Dead had a lot of the same
stuff.
story aspects that y'all had come up with.
Right. But one of the things that I guess we learned from that there
And
was
from later on.
nobody still told that story that we told.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, like, okay, you have a character in Basilisk that can control blood, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like but she's not the same thing as a bloodbender in Avatar, right? She's not gonna be the same character as the one in the boys. So same thing with your character.
Show the anime.
Oh, Darker Than Blood? No, I was thinking about the guy that cut his hand and made the blood explode.
No, the one where they're in prison and they have to fight each other. I can't remember the name right now.
Which, yeah. So regardless, it could be frustrating, right? Because you're like, okay, well, again, sake of conversation. We get the comparison all the time, the Gray and Riri, all the time. What is going to set the Gray apart from Riri coming soon? But
first off, even without her coming soon, what she studies.
Well, what
Riri's in engineering.
Yeah.
She's in physics.
So your character, the uniqueness that you have of your character is
a story nobody else can
is a
tell.
story that nobody is
even
telling.
If they have the exact same powers somehow. I've seen so many other fire-powered characters dealing with mental health issues since I started talking about Edmani that it's crazy.
Right.
All of a sudden, they all just seem like they came out the woodwork.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I'm telling a very different story, though.
Right. Because the character is Edmani is loosely based off of her. Nobody else can tell the story of her, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So,
that's a valid point. True.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Let's say, plus, I think she's off. Well, no. Now she's not the only woman character anymore because we saw the other story.
Mm-hmm.
But she was at the time the only one that was a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's based off of me. She's Caribbean. And then there's a whole nother storyline that's going to come from this that I've never spoken out loud, which means nobody can tell that because they don't know what I have planned.
Mm-hmm.
So but nobody can tell your story.
Right.
Even if they try to take your outline and write a story based off it because somehow they got a hold of it. Your story is your story.
Mm-hmm. So you go.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Now, with you, what I know you were telling me that you had a situation like that at one point in time too.
Well, my issue's always been is like the second I do something or think of something, I see it someplace else, and it does drive me nuts at times. But like I do something and it gets compared to something else. Like I'm not sure if we've actually ever physically said it, but we're in upstate New York. We're from a little town called Schenectady, and Schenectady literally translates to an indigenous term, which means the end of the road.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's like we're literally the end of the road. So that's what people think of it as. So my whole thing has always been like, if we have like this community issue or this community problem, it needs to be solved by the people of the community. So I started writing this whole story I'm calling Revelations about these 4 kids who are from this neighborhood who wound up with powers, who were trying to take care of the situation. And I let my cousin, I let him proofread it to see what he thought. And he goes, "Oh yeah, you guys are dressed like the Shield." And I'm like, "We're dressed like who?" And he goes, like, "You know the Shield. You heard the Shield from wrestling." Now I had stopped watching wrestling years before, and then
That's why
I Googled the image as he's telling me about it, and I'm like, "Oh my god, we are dressed like them." And it's like, in my mind, I wanted it to be like urban tactical, sort of the way like Wesley Snipes' Blade was. So that was the thought I was going with, but I also wanted to have a little ground in the reality, have a little urban feel to it. But then I saw the stuff they're wearing, and I'm like, why? Now I gotta change it. And he goes, "Don't even bother." He was like, he's like, I put the connection together because that's just what I saw in my head. But it's like not everyone else is going to see it that way, unless you specifically draw it that way.
Right. And like, you already said what your inspiration was for, so then people be like, "Oh, duh, yeah, I see that." Done.
Right. Plus, the Shield. Like, I only vaguely recalled the name until he was like, the wrestling. I was like, oh, yeah, because we used to watch wrestling. And I remember the Shield, but, like, I don't think if I saw it, I would have thought of that immediately. And people will always, no matter what you do, people are going to put inspirations on your story that might not have anything to do with what your inspiration was for the story.
Right. Yeah. So I had another thing where it was, instead of it being like a designer drug, I wanted everyone to be on like just a designer inhaler that they would just put up to their face. It would literally like lock into place, and you inhale, and it would give you super strength or increase your speed. But then you see Titans and how they did the whole thing with the fear toxin.
That's crazy.
So it's like I said, I get it too, and it does drive me nuts at times.
It's still your story.
Yeah.
Or in Superman and Lois with the kryptonite inhaler.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's still tell your story.
But as long as you don't take their story and write that story because of inspiration, you're good, because your story is going to be different.
Right.
There are people out there that literally have taken.
I wrote that like 10 years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, just
look, there's people that have literally taken Spider-Man and made a character that is literally Spider-Man, but they made a different name. I don't want to say anything if I accidentally say.
We all know and love the original Spider-Man, the OG Spider-Man. Shout out to Anansi.
Yeah.
OG Spider-Man. I don't think nobody says that's the real Spider-Man.
That's facts.
Big facts.
So yeah, there's nothing new under the sun.
I mean, think Robert Kirkman, Invincible. Sure, the story of Invincible is very different, but his quote unquote
the Guardians of the Globe.
That's literally the Justice League.
It's the Justice League. But it's his Justice League, right? Like they are,
definitely
parodies inspired by Justice League, but they are all different characters, right?
Yeah. What was it?
It was
the animated show, the one that was really big, though. Invincible.
Yeah,
that whole thing with Omni-Man. You're trying to tell me that wasn't supposed to be the Justice League?
Yeah.
Same thing with the boys. Like
Omni-Man is Superman, just is Superman.
Was it Red Rush?
Red Rush, the Flash.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Black Batman, which he wasn't even the first version of their first version Batman.
Right.
If you see like the flashbacks and stuff, so like Wonder Woman.
So Aquaman. It's there, right? Where it's like, okay, obviously in that case, there's almost a parody or homage, whatever you want to call it, but it wasn't the Justice League. They were all different, although very loosely based on, they were their own characters. So even with the story that you're writing, which will be a far cry from that level of comparison, y'all are good with the story that y'all are trying to tell.
Right.
You didn't name that group the Shield, right? You didn't even name them Blade or or any of that.
Right.
Right. Their fit is just inspired by, and then they're gonna go and create their own legend, if you would, right? So, people just gotta let these characters grow.
There are always gonna be people that make comparisons, but if they're not reading it, they don't get to tell you if you can do it or not.
Yeah. What do people used to say about Black Clover? Black Clover was a Magic Naruto or something like that. Was it Black Clover everybody compared it Naruto to?
Yes, used to.
Wow.
We literally saw the conversation on
I can't tell my fiance that.
but
I haven't watched Black Clover yet, but I've heard good things about it.
Yeah. But it's his own thing. So
okay. Now, on the Kickstarter side of things, so I hear you're trying. You've reached your funding goal.
Yeah.
Right. Now, what's the next? I remember you guys talking about stretch goals. What's the next goal for you guys now?
100
backers.
backers.
Yep.
100
I
backers.
see right now. You guys are they're ladies and gentlemen. Everybody watching right now. Everybody who's watching right now. Let's see. We have.
Everyone loves
Let me
magical cards.
clarify. We currently have 8 viewers right now. You guys watching? Head over to Midnight. Right, Lloyd, go for it. Let's see if you can get it right this time around. Shout it out.
Midnight X Comics everywhere except for Facebook and YouTube, where it's just Midnight Comics. Boom, gotcha. So
There you
you
go.
can go to midnightcomics.org. If you want to click on the gray coming soon, it'll take you straight to the Kickstarter. Or if you decide to go to Midnight X Comics on Instagram and go to the link in the bio, you'll get to the gray Admani pre-order and you can back that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I need you guys to head over there right now. They're at 68 backers right now. 68. The goal is 100. Get out there, guys. Run it up. Run it up. Guys, gals, all level 7s. Head on out there. Back them up. Like, you guys have absolutely crushed and damn near doubled your pledge goal at this point in time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to throw any numbers out on that, but you guys are damn near double that right now.
Yeah.
Like, so I need you guys to go out there, run it up, and again, who doesn't like free shit?
Right.
Come on.
I mean, sure, you can buy something to get free stuff, but I mean, stores do that to you all the time.
Right.
Exactly. But even
the
then,
random link person is me, by the
way. Seriously, you guys, head on out, run it up, show your love. These guys have amazing stories. I was going to say an amazing product, but it's not a product. It's a story. They're stories that are being told that you, me, them, they, everyone can relate to in some way, shape, or form. And one, it's a black owned. Number one, it's a black owned and operated, company. You gotta love it. You gotta show your love. You know what I mean? Because it's hard out here. It's hard out here. But these guys, they're sitting on gold, black gold at that. They're sitting on black gold right now, and they want you guys to see it. They want everyone to see it. And these stories, like I said, I have the stories myself, and they are amazing. They are absolutely amazing. I highly recommend for everyone to check them out. All right. So now, last time we had talked, you guys had brought up, what was it? A community event that you guys were thinking about. You guys comfortable to touch on that a little bit more?
Yeah. Last time we
thought about it.
Oh, 2 things. Yes. So I think we were doing the community character creation nights is what we mentioned there. And so with that, it gives the opportunity for the Midnight Comics universe to be populated by the Midnight Comics community.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so what we would do, of course, via Patreon, because what we would love to do is be able to get pictures commissioned and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we kind of go through the process of a character creation with the patrons, if you would. We just break it down characters, come up with and develop a story together and stuff like that. And it doesn't matter what that character is, what they can do, whatever the case is, but there'll be that character that's walking in the background, and that turns into a what if. Like, what if that character got involved in the battles and stuff like that, right? And so now, even for the person that created the character, that let's say they want to make their own book one day, they can even say first appearance in.
Happened last time before, remember?
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, the pictures went out.
1 second, guys.
No,
sorry.
The
picture went out. Okay.
Yeah, the camera went out.
No, you're good.
I'm not gonna lie, I was so busy watching the fight. Dio versus Goku.
There you go.
Goku terror.
Oh man.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, go back over because for some reason you couldn't hear you on our side.
Oh no, you're good.
The stream definitely heard you guys.
You said the stream heard us?
Yeah, the stream heard us. The stream heard y'all. The stream heard.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the hope is, once you guys create your characters and stuff like that, again, we go through the whole process, develop the character with you and all that other stuff. The character is yours at that point, right?
Mhm.
But we would love for them to just pop up in the background, right? So, insert random scene of Soul walking through the city. Well, instead of just random pedestrians, that pedestrian could be your character that controls blood, right? Or hemokinesis. They're not doing anything but walking down the street, but it'll be like, yo, what if that character got involved in this fight right quick?
Mhm.
Would he be a game changer, right? But, just a little fun thing. You could be like, hey, this character first appeared here or whatever while you're writing your story. And one of the examples that we used was the fact that during that war arc, or at least that first portion of the war arc in My Hero Academia, when they were attacking the villain compound, Chainsaw Man was there, just randomly running amongst the heroes, charging towards the villains. Chainsaw Man ain't really a My Hero. You know what I mean?
That's why they changed it in the anime.
But that's why in the anime they couldn't have them. But so something like that, but filled with the Midnight Comics community of characters.
Mhm.
So, it'd be a cute Easter egg, if you would, or whatever. Like, oh, such and such a character popped up in there, but at the end of the day, it's still your character. Do what you want to do, but
Right.
forever be immortalized within the Midnight Comics universe.
It's a
through
way
your
to
character.
get the community involved in being a part of these stories. Because what's better than being a part of your favorite comic?
Right.
Yeah, and I thought about it a lot. And last time we talked, I was talking about that with the way when Milestone did their creator competition and stuff like that, and they got a lot of new characters at that, because of DC crippling them. I still feel that way. It's my own personal opinion. My own personal opinion.
Oh, they did.
It was intentional.
That's facts.
I'm just saying. I definitely feel like Midnight was on a roll. Milestone was on a roll, and then DC came and was like, "Oh, I like that black character. We have to populate. We got to give a little diversity and just, I'll take this character, that character." Yeah, that's just personally how I feel. I feel like,
and the wild part is they had a dozen characters that were actually completely original, totally phenomenal, and the only one that you know about is Static Shock.
Right. Right.
Unless you really read comics.
until later.
Until Young Justice.
Young Justice.
Now, what if Icon was in there fighting against Darkseid? You know what I mean? Like, come on, you get that Darkseid War movie and you got Icon there. How is Darkseid stopping him? What weakness is he going to exploit?
Mm-hmm. And he got that Kryptonian humanity that Clark Kent seems to have. So,
even think about it. Even the technology that powers the belt that Rocket uses, right? It basically just it converts that energy, and she's able to use that. So here's a question: can that belt convert the Omega beams, and she can shoot that back at Darkseid? Come on, so many things you can do with these characters.
Right? I mean, the only person I think I've ever seen dodge it is Batman.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing.
Dodge it, but he also, to the point where it redirected back and hit Darkseid. Yeah, when he dodged it, it just happened. He dodged it in a way that it hit him in the chest.
I distinctly remember it killing a parademon.
But, no. There was that one. I'm thinking of when Superman did it. Yeah, Superman dodged it. It was right after he had the death of Supergirl.
Yes.
The death of Supergirl. Clark spazzes. He's like, you know what? Not holding back anymore. And he tried to use his Omega beam. He just flash stepped and phased out, and it just boom hit him back in the chest. Yeah. Sorry, little
unfortunate speed feat for the Batman dodging that thing though. That's what about that one scene where he I think it's a more recent comic book joint where he was fighting Reverse Flash and managed to pin him down with a batarang. Like how are you reacting to someone that moves faster than the speed of thought? There's no way, even moving slower. There's no way.
Let's remember that Reverse Flash is faster.
Watch this. I know exactly how. I gotta block. Give me a second. I gotta block. Prep time.
Prep time. I swear to God, it's fucking prep time. No. Fuck prep time.
Hey, that's
oh my fucking God.
This is how you advertise the shirt.
Fucking prep time. I got your. Listen, man. Fuck prep time. All right.
I told you I had to block it.
I don't know. There it is.
Goddamn.
Ladies and gentlemen, I fell into it. But no, so what happened was
It was either prep
is that we
time or-
have this whole thing about how prep time shouldn't be such a big thing, and then he draws me into these moments, and I had this reaction.
Good old prep time.
I had to bait him. I had to bait him. And again, that's another thing that we're working on as well. Merchandise. That's actually a real question. How are you guys working on like merchandising? Are you guys pushing t-shirts, outfits, hats?
Oh yeah, because I definitely wear a hoodie with soul on it real quick.
Another thing.
Have them. Pushing them. No.
Thing about playing action figures anytime soon. I want a soul action figure.
All of the above. Yes.
Hey.
So we have not been. This is all on us. We have merch. We got merch and apparel. We have not pushed any of that merch and apparel.
I keep trying to convince him to put the merch on Kickstarter, but he won't.
Yeah. So that's a whole other thing. Yeah, we just got to push it more. I do need to put some more designs that we do have of the characters on some of the stuff, but that soul hoodie, that's definitely that's coming. Or I think it's a thing.
Is it what? Just like
just a shirt.
Black hoodie with soul symbol on it?
We should swap merch.
Give me a swap. We should swap merch.
Swap.
Okay.
I mean, I need
that.
No.
Yeah, we'll send you some we got a few things. We got the shirts that he's wearing right now with the logos on them. We got
where's the prep time shirt that's coming out?
Level 7.
Whoa! She wants the fuck prep time shirt.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay. Say less.
Oh well, let's not forget about the Saiyan Pride shirt. You were there for that episode when we talked about that.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
How'd you forget about the Saiyan Pride shirt?
I said I was gonna mock it up right after, and I completely forgot to mock it up right after. All right, we're gonna work on that when we get out of here.
Okay. We have our level 7 hoodies.
Yep.
For all those who are level 7s with everything geekdom and comic book. So yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know what a level 7 is. Triage, explain what a level 7 is.
So I basically say that to make it simple, that a level 7 is the comic book equivalent of an otaku.
Okay.
So if you are someone who knows everything comic book facts and origins and characters and knows your comic book lore forwards and backwards, like if your boys go to you to solve the argument, you're level 7.
Oh, I need those.
We've already established you two are absolutely level
7s.
Ooh.
So
that's
we got one
mouse
for
pads.
big old mouse
That's a
pad.
mouse pad.
Or the
Gaming mouse pad.
little gaming joint. Yeah. So I got my keyboard and my mouse right on this thing. Yeah. Got one for each of the characters.
Oh.
Got coffee mugs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Jag wants to see the mouse pad. He wants to see the mouse pad.
Oh, hold on. Put it back up. Hold on.
Massive mouse pad too.
So choose your size. I think we have 2 or 3 different options, but I think so. And then of course
that's clean.
Yeah,
that's clean.
So
we gotta see the mouse pads.
Yeah.
You gotta see the mouse pads.
We had the phone cases. We had to take some of them off because they're gonna be discontinued.
Oh,
but
that's unfortunate.
phone cases, mugs,
I
shirts.
haven't found anywhere good to do mock-ups for phone cases.
Well, that's what I've been doing because my partner in crime over here, he decided to print out our stickers that are in a form of a QR code. I always say it wrong. So like I actually had a lot of my coworkers stick them on their thermoses, but me, I stuck mine right in the back of my phone.
Nice.
So anytime someone brings it up or talks about it, like, oh, here, just scan this.
Done deal. That's smart. That's smart.
I gotta do it.
Because like you're going to have your phone with you.
Everybody always got their phone with them.
Right.
So, and that's interesting. Listen, let us know when you guys get to a point when you guys want to start pushing merch. Let us know. We will definitely put that out there. We will get people out there. We'll put it up in our neck of the woods and let people know because we already have quite a few people that just so happen to see the reel I put out about for the fuck prep time shirts that are like, I want one. I need one. So we already got a few people that are interested. So Definitely. Let us know when you guys are ready. We'll do our best to put them out there to everyone as much as we can.
Okay.
But I got it. So I'm an editor. I'm a producer. I make things. And create is my favorite word.
Mhm.
So and then when I get new little things that help me create better, I call them my toys. So I
Okay.
recently got a new toy that allows me to make like actual video mock-ups of my clothing. So the reel that you guys seen recently that I dropped announcing the shirts, those people aren't really wearing the shirts.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of thought they were the, you know how when you use like the Printful and the what's and
Uh-huh.
other sites like that.
But
I
for
thought
video?
it was like that. I didn't even.
Yeah, so it's
I
like
really didn't think about the fact that it was a video.
yeah, yeah, you're right. It's like that. It's exactly like that, but it's actually video. So it's actually tracking their movements and everything.
That's cool.
Interesting. Okay.
It
So
didn't.
let me know, and I will gladly. I will make up everything as much as you need. I will run it up.
Okay.
The only thing I will say, much like I say about Printful and sites like that, is I need them to have more Black people on there.
And you know what? You're right. Now I'm thinking about it. That is the thing about this website. It literally like it has. You can actually pick like which ethnicity you want your model to be, and like when you click African American, like I think there's like one page, but they look good.
Okay.
They look good. They
yeah, we would definitely be we need to chat it up. Definitely need to. Definitely need to, because yeah, that is one area that like I think we've sold like 5 shirts total.
And 3 of them were my parents.
And 3 of them were her parents. So like, yeah, we need to we gonna push that.
Yeah, I would say my dad has that shirt.
Cause like we gotta
my mom and dad have that shirt, and then my mom has, because the gray is her favorite character as well. My mom has.
So we have the character. We have one with the character in the middle. So looking at the soul, gray, and blue Morpher one. So they're in the middle, and then the logo for their story is on one sleeve, and then the Midnight Comics logo is on the other sleeve. Yeah. Now I do want to, and I need to design it. Just do one with their actual logos in the middle of the shirt or hoodie or what have you. But right now we have some that has the character themselves. So
hey, honestly, let me know. I'm actually that just something I've been doing like t-shirt designs and stuff for a few years now. Even back when I was doing like the projects in the past that had fallen apart and not gotten off the ground. I was doing shirts for them and stuff like that. So like I've been doing shirts for a while now, and with all my new toys and all the new technology now, I can run those up for you guys. Not a problem. Not a problem. I'll have them. Here. Let me see if I can do this, just to give the people's an understanding of what I'm talking about here.
Sell back.
Just to give them a taste of what I'm talking about, like stuff like this. No, I'll go with this one. It's probably gonna take a moment to load in. But no, yeah, this is like this is what I do. I love to create.
Okay.
Whenever it decides to allow me to play around with it.
Oh wow.
Stuff like this. Now I know this is definitely more along the line that you guys are interested
in. Yeah, need that ASAP. We're messaging now. I need that now.
Like, I'm so like, let us know. Like I said, we are here. We're here for the ride. We are here for the ride, guys. Now for going forward, in the future, what's a, let's say, a stretch goal, like big picture stretch goal.
For just as a whole as Midnight Comics.
Yeah, as a, like, where do you guys see Midnight Comics being in, like, this is the usual, like, in the next 5 years?
I need an animated series. Easily, I need an animated series.
I've been thinking about that for a minute. I need an animated series. I was looking at Tasha usually posted about Creative Theory World, and they have their animated series going on right now, and it's amazing. I watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, good. Cause oh my god.
Yeah,
I think we watched those. I personally have watched them a couple times now.
Yeah. And now I would love to see these characters in, like, and each one of them. Hell, even want to do it, you can capitalize on the fact that you guys have multiple characters, and each one of them has their own universe. So you're talking about, well, maybe 5 different shows,
easily,
easy, minimum 5 different shows.
So, yeah. And I think I don't even know which one. I'll tell you what, the one that got the most traction is when we did that Netflix mock-up for the Gray.
Yeah.
Oh man, everybody was like, "Yo, wait a second. Hold on. It's that same picture I showed y'all just now, but hold on. I will show y'all the Here we go. Hold up. Can I present really quick?
Yeah.
Is that
thing? You should. As long as it's in your as long as it's in on your computer, you can just hit present and
there you
pick
go.
one of those, and here, let me see if it's in there. There we are.
So yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'd watch that immediately.
So like it's sharp, and people was like, "Yo, wait a second, is this legit?" It's like, no, but I'm glad y'all like it, cause yeah.
So, that is. Oh.
And it's like you can visualize it now. Like, wait, like this could happen. This is
like this shit gonna be gritty. It's gonna be in your face.
Yeah.
It's gonna have a certain level of. Yeah. Okay.
Oh man.
So.
Oh man, you know how Netflix animations get.
Yeah, boy.
Netflix animations get.
They've
gritty.
gotten some surprisingly gritty.
So that would be And honestly, we've been playing around with the idea too. My big thing is I just want to see more Black creatives in this space, more Black creatives with their own shows and stuff like that. At first, and even then, on top of that, more Black anime. Black anime.
I mean, what was the last one? The one Yusuke?
Oh, the first Black Samurai. Yeah, there was that, and even then, that was kind of like, that was all right, but even then, it kind of fell out of context.
It went very far left.
Yeah,
for like no reason.
Yeah.
Even then, hell, and then watching Creative Theory World's, anime, the Fordbringers, like that. I'm like, dude, that's the fro, the locks, the dreads, the beard, the deep raspy voices, like, it just all.
Never forget the complexions. The complexions is a big part too.
Like, I mean, I didn't think that I thought that was pretty evident. Speaking of, Black anime,
but not even that. But it's like they were talking about that. I remember I was listening to this podcast and they were talking about that with American Gods, because when it comes to complexions that are so dark, it's like they're not always portrayed the right way.
Yeah.
So it's like, especially like on screens or in lighting, but for it to do it in anime, for example, we have the characters that we all know are Black, but how many characters have you actually seen drawn black that you'd be like, all right, that's a beautiful
Believable.
depiction of the black character experience?
Huey and Riley.
I wouldn't even say them, but they're close.
Yeah,
but they're close.
Like I recently saw somebody they did a drawing of Piccolo, if he was human.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like Lloyd. long like long dreads, darker skin. His antenna were actually like two locks coming down in front.
Stop.
It was clean.
Okay.
Clean.
That makes sense, actually. Dang, that was
Yo.
the fade type of.
That's
okay.
Okay.
Black hair fade.
What's about it?
I just didn't like the fact that in the new movie they made him light skinned.
That's the power up. Oh no.
I blame Drake. I blame Steph Curry. I blame.
Chill.
Because we're not winning no more because these quote unquote light skinned brothers are running the game. Yeah, light skinned niggas are in.
Drake.
Wild. But no, yeah, I love to see it. And what you guys are doing and the stories you guys are creating, the characters that you guys are building, it's in the community above all else that you guys have behind you. Like I said, 68 backers. You were fully funded in 8 hours. 8 hours. That's crazy. That's crazy. When just a few years ago it took you guys a month. The growth is phenomenal. Phenomenal. And it not only phenomenal, but it's inspirational as well. And you seeing the work that you do, seeing you guys partner with other comic book companies and stuff. Like it's I don't know, bro. It just has me lost for words because, like, again, I'm new to this, so it's shocking to me.
Yeah.
I never seen so much love within this blurred community, and absolutely after watching the clips from DreamCon, I'm like, it's like that out here with us.
Yeah,
It's like that.
Yeah.
They had a whole basketball tournament out there. They had a whole basketball tournament, bro.
Dodgeball joint.
They did.
Cleo Thomas won a Mortal Kombat tournament dressed as Powerline.
About 20,000 people out there.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I looked at some statistics for them. Last year was only 6,000 people there. Yeah. This year, 20,000.
Yeah, I saw the footage.
That's crazy. RCD World, looking Caleb City, Cleo Thomas, at like all the big black influencers came out for this event. Mm-hmm. And they showed the fuck out. They showed out. And it was amazing. Like I want that to be our stretch goal.
Yeah.
I want to go live, be set up and do a live podcast in Austin, Texas for DreamCon.
It's possible.
Get them press badges.
It's possible. Get some press badges.
That's different.
It's different because we already talked about doing lives at certain at cons and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So up here in New York State in Schenectady, we have what's called Fandom Fest. So Fandom Fest is like a little mini Comic-Con that's held at the world-renowned Proctor's Theater down here in Schenectady. And when I say, like, Keith David was supposed to be here this year, and I'm sad because he's not now. I'm sad. I wanted to go.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, they bring, and like they have like really big actors coming out to Schenectady, which again people hold as the end of the road. Keith David, Adrian Paul, for anybody that was a fan of the Highlander TV show back in the days, Adrian Paul,
Duncan MacLeod, MacLeod Clan.
Yeah, from the
Yeah.
McLeod clan. Well,
Robert Paulson, he was
Rob-
here last year.
yeah, Robert Paulson was
So
here
was
last year,
James Masters.
and James Masters. What
Sorry,
was it?
that was me.
Was it Morphin Time already? Damn.
I apologize.
Oh, you
Oh, but yeah, and like, so we're going this year. It's actually at the end of the month, and we're like, you know what? This is it. This is the year we start doing these. We're gonna get out there, get the microphones out, get the cameras out. We're stopping cosplayers, talking to cosplayers, getting their input, interviewing them. And if we can, by the grace of the gods that be, maybe even get an interview with one of the celebrity guests that are there that aren't going to break our pocket.
Right.
Yeah,
No, it's possible. No, like
I think.
I got the chance to.
I mean, a lot of time, if you just
catch them walking,
them and ask them,
just
they'll
ask them
talk to you.
questions, you're gonna be good. I was coming back from. Was I on the restroom? I think I was just
Last
walking
year or
around this year. I was just roaming around, just really quick. When friend King of Blurs was at the table, really quick, I was like, let me, what do you call it? Meander for a second. And I'm walking around and I see the voice actor for Killer Bee. And I'm just like, man, how you enjoying the convention, man? Oh man,
Oh.
da, 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 da. I'm like, oh man, yeah. He's like, oh, so what you here as a just an attendee or you vendor and stuff, and start talking about the comics and stuff like that. And I was like, I mean, if you got a second, I'll show you. And he's like, grabbed his keys and his phone right quick and said, okay, I'll walk with you. And we're just walking and talking casually all the way back to I literally was on the opposite side of the hall from where he was. And he walked with me the whole way. We were just talking. He came to the table, he bought something. I got to take a picture with him and stuff. King of Blurs had no idea who he was at first until he started doing the voice for Killer Bee. He was just like, yeah. So yeah, like
yeah.
y'all can do it. Okay, like
Right.
just strike it up. They're normal people, man. Just strike up conversation. Just be like, hey, like, how are you? And that's all she wrote from there. That's all she
Yeah,
wrote.
I mean, last con we went to was Saratoga Comic Con in Saratoga, New York, and that's actually for our area. That's a big con. It's a big con. So I feel like in New York, the only other, so in New York State it goes New York City Comic Con, of course.
Yes, yeah.
Below that, New York City Anime New York City,
Mhm.
and then below that would be the Saratoga Comic Con. So yeah, we got to meet Tracy Lynn Cruz, the actor who played Ashley in the was it Ashley? Yes, it was Ashley. Yeah, Ashley in Turbo and Space for Power Rangers. We got to meet one of my favorite, Brian Tochi, who was the original voice actor for who was it?
Leonardo.
Nope.
Okay.
He's the turtle expert.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
the-
A1.
yeah, who was a voice actor for for Leo in the original live action Ninja Turtle. When I say this dude was cool as cool can be,
Cool as a cucumber.
cool as a cucumber, man. And we just chatted up. We got Tracy Lynn Cruz to give us a shout out, which is the first video that comes up on our Instagram.
All right.
Yeah.
So
We also got to meet another brother, Teddy Long.
Teddy Long from wrestling, old school, OG.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Oh yeah, I'd be curious.
But yeah, and this is something that we want to do regularly. That was like our first taste, like starting our second season of the Super Breakdown. And
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Is she okay, Lloyd? You look a little worried there.
Oh no,
You look so worried.
I'm usually the stuffy one. Like I'm usually the one that's always congested, stuff like that, not her. So just see, I'm just like, yikes, are you good for real? Like, oh no.
He's like, I gotta put a
I
mask on.
I used to be the sick
maybe.
one all the
That mean
time.
allergies.
Right,
That's not an allergy sneeze.
right. Like,
Well, listen. Well, we wish the best of health for you guys.
Of course,
Best of health. But no, like, and I love the fact I love meeting you guys. I love running into you guys and meeting you guys because I feel like through your guys' posts and doing what you guys are doing, we're learning like what it means to really be in this culture.
Yeah.
And you guys are slowly but surely becoming a staple here.
that is.
And
Thank you.
I love it.
That's
I love
so
it.
crazy to think about. Honestly.
Yeah.
Because it's like, who, us? Like, for real? You think so? Like, it's crazy to even, it's perspective. Like, I think you were talking about earlier, just the aha moment. Like, is it, are we really getting to that point to be a staple? No,
or even just an inspiration.
Or an inspiration? Yeah, that's, we talked about that in the live too. It's just crazy to think about. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's just, thank you.
No,
Thank
absolutely. You know, and this is something that, one sec, as I finagle over here with my electronics. You know, this is something that I want us to dive into. You know, I want to get into this because the love, the camaraderie, everything is just building. So I'm looking at our cake messages here. Let's see. Chasm 74 says, I met Chris Saba in line for Zach. I can't pronounce that. Can you pronounce that? I can't pronounce that. Aguilera at Anime Con. So it looks like we're gonna have somebody else to look forward to for the next con we go to. I've been to Anime Con once, and it's been fun. So I look forward to maybe even seeing you guys there when you guys get a chance to get around to it at Anime Con, supporting your supporting the unbeloved and supporting your manga at Anime Con. I look forward to that too. And
we've been trying to get up to New York.
Yeah,
we've been trying to get up to New York for over a year. Actually, probably 2 years now.
Yeah,
I have family up there.
Yeah.
It's just getting
there
to get there.
Because y'all know we got kids. We got 3 of them.
Yeah.
So there's that too.
Yeah.
Trying to figure that out. But no, the plan is to try to get up there for sure.
No, I was like, if we can go to Brooklyn Comic Con or something, and we can go, you know, we can stay with my aunt, like,
right,
or probably not my grandfather, but we can stay at my aunt's house, and they're all close to each other, so like we can see family and we can go have a good time.
Enjoy the convention, right?
Hey, hell, if you guys come up too, we'll definitely come out there. We'll come out there, link up. We'll hit the con together too.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Let us know. We
Super
out there.
with it.
We out there. We
Okay.
out there. Like I said, and when we're done, I'm definitely we definitely swapping that merch. I'm definitely sending you guys those shirts out there too.
Okay.
Oh, I might randomly make up some random hats. But no, yeah, guys. You guys are doing amazing things. Seriously.
Thank you.
And we here at the Super Breakdown, we're here for the ride. We're here for the ride. And we're here to support in any way that we can. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm just now getting into like having a strong social media presence. So I'm still not the best at, you know, scheduling my posts, putting them up and, you know, making them and stuff. So I'm
same.
Like, I haven't even gone. I don't think I've ever gone Instagram Live before. You guys do it like 3 times a day.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't even have my actual Instagram under control. You saw, I only really started posting again like 2 weeks ago. So
right.
And I don't ever go live on my page. I can't. I don't want to.
So yeah, no, we're definitely here for along for the ride. We're definitely supporters. Like, you know, we're gonna try to blow you guys up as big as we possibly can in our area and what little platform we have right now that we're building. So we gonna get there. And I'll send it again. I dropped the Kickstarter for the Gray and Amani in our cake chat. I'm actually going to drop it one more time for the people so they can see. And I'm going to drop it on everything that I possibly can. Yeah. Because we're trying to get that 101 backers.
Okay.
101 backers right there. Just to help Tasha out. So what is the record? What was the record for Soul for backers?
Soul got 100.
Soul hit 100.
Yeah.
I think just over 100.
All right. So we're going to 105 just to spite Lloyd.
Oh,
you started this.
I did.
I was trying to go to bed. And you wanted to bring up competition.
Again, you guys. So, is there another goal after the 100 backers?
Yeah.
As far in the stretch goals,
Yeah.
there is. Technically, it's what 8.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, it's 8K.
Because there was
to
something...
reveal one more thing we want to do.
Yeah.
And then if we would have hit over 9K, we would do it.
We would have done it. Yeah. It involves voice actors. That's all we would have said.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm there.
Yeah. So if it's never say never, right?
Right.
We still got 4 days. But yeah, a particular project that would have included voice actors would have been would be the thing that comes of that stretch goal. So there we go.
All right. Well, guys, let's help them hit this stretch goal. 100 backers. They're at 68 now. I dropped the link to the Kickstarter in the comments. Run it up. Help Tasha out. Let the ladies of Midnight break the record. For these guys.
Rub it in his grubby little face. He wants to make everything a competition.
I really do.
And we're both very competitive.
Hey, that's how you do. You keep picking each other up, and that friendly competition keeps you both sharp, keeps you both on your toes.
Yeah, still sharp as steel.
Yeah, still sharp as steel, and especially when you're forged by fire.
Mm-hmm. This has turned into a real Dragon Ball episode because my man's been powering up the whole
for like 5
minutes.
Like forever
for mad long. Yeah,
that's the computer.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the computer. He's up.
Honestly, no, this is a full Dragon Ball Z episode right now.
Like they both just,
bro.
Okay, hold on. What is going on here? What's going on here?
He told Cell 5 minutes, so.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
In anime time, he still got 3 minutes left.
Does Vegito have what it takes to take on Cell Boozer? Find out next time.
Listen, you never know, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, our resident man in the chair, saying Jag.
Because sometimes they fix themselves. Sometimes the computer just is like, you know what? I'm about to go all out. Well, I need all whole 6 bars.
Well, it looks like the computer was going full on Eeyore with that one. I'm just saying.
Oh no,
full on Eeyore. You never go full Eeyore t-shirt.
Actually, no. I don't co-sign that one in good taste. No, that's,
no.
I can't co-sign that one.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Another shirt we did. I'll
make it for me.
Phenomenal shirt.
Fucking idiot.
Oh man. But definitely, guys, it's been a pleasure having you guys on, and I'm glad that we were able to talk to you guys and for a longer amount of time.
Oh yeah.
Like for everybody who doesn't know, who just chimed in, we've interviewed these guys before a few months ago. It's on our YouTube page, The Super Breakdown. It was only about an hour long, but this time we get 2 hours and a few minutes out of these amazing creators. Guys, run it up. Midnight X comments on everything except for Facebook and just
YouTube.
Facebook or YouTube.
YouTube. Yep.
YouTube. Facebook and YouTube is just Midnight Space Comics. Yes. Run it up, guys. They have some awesome stuff going on. Click the Kickstarter link. 105 backers. I'm challenging you guys. 105 backers. 105 backers. Just because we gotta support. Just because we gotta support. And that has been the Super Breakdown. Holy hell! Did I even introduce us really in the beginning? I did.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
But I would do it all the way. You did. Okay. But I would like to point out the one thing, and this is what I'm going to say. I'm saying this about all parties involved. That to anyone who's watching or anyone who's listening, if you have an idea or you think that you have something that could be marketed or be mainstream, just do it.
Just
do it.
Yeah.
Just
What's
do it.
favorite advice?
Like I 100% support Shia LaBeouf, and just do it. Just do it, because you never know. You will never know.
Nike, not Shia LaBeouf.
Nah, Shia made it cool.
Holes, nigga.
Holes.
Oh my god.
Holes.
Really? Did you forget about Even Stevens?
Not Even Stevens. Come on.
What
Just do it.
What about Even Stevens?
Like, come on. You
Was
haven't
he-
even Stevens too.
I was never watched Even Stevens.
He was Steven.
I never watched Even Stevens. I didn't. Thank you, Jack.
What did he say?
He's a transformer.
Yeah, he was a Transformers guy. Yes.
Yeah.
he
I mean, we could have at least gone there to be.
did.
He's like,
Granted, Hold is
Oh,
an amazing
yeah,
movie. It's not
but-
necessarily a bad thing.
Seriously. Yeah, absolutely. You guys, if you all level 7s, let me get my Optimus Prime on. We just talked about message to all level 7s. Go out and do it. Just
Mhm.
do it. In the spirit of Sam Witwicky, just do it. Because you never know if you have the next big thing or not.
Make your dreams
Just
come true.
you never
Right.
know.
do
You never know. And like I said, I can give that as a testimony right now. I never thought that I'd be sitting here, lights, camera, projector, talking to two people who have a successful and growing comic book company. I never thought that I'd have 6-7 people watching and people like within 2 days. I know it's small, but it's something that has never happened for me before. Actually having people interested, asking. We recently got an email from an author who sent us his books for us to review and would like to get on the show. And we're working with him right now to try to get him on the show next month. Again, also a Black hero. It's not necessarily a comic. It's a short novel called Torian. Right now I'm currently reading through it, and the way it's looking, he's definitely gonna get on the show. Definitely gonna be on the show.
Okay.
Because I never thought I'd be here. What happened was I just did it. Because I have really bad anxiety. I overthink. I talk myself out of things. But this I just did. So if you're out there, all creators out there, you got a plan, you got a thought, even if it's not finished, do it. Get it down paper. Your first step is pen, the pad, fingers, the keyboard. Do it. And if you don't know how to do it, find someone that knows how to do it and ask them how to do it. That's what we've been doing sitting here. We've been asking, what about this? What about this? How about that? Go out there and just get it done. Because it ain't going to get done.
Mhm.
What you're saying is you lose, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Mhm.
Yep.
At least you take a shot, you got a 50-50 chance.
There you go.
Better than 0. So, with that being said, I'm Power Maximus, Lord Triage, Saiyan Jag, our game master. We're here with Midnight Comics, Lord and Tasha. You guys are absolutely amazing. To everything else and more to come, and again, the Grand Amani Kickstarter that's out there, so we fund it in 8 hours. Fund it in 8 hours, guys. Fund it in 8 hours. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Major.
Right.
So with that, we're gonna call it on this episode. Tune in next Sunday. Yeah, I know usually we do shows every other Sunday, but this month in August we have a show every Sunday this month. Next episode, breaking down Kang the Conqueror.
Mm.
Kang the Conqueror, Mr. Good old Nathaniel Richards, Victor Timely, and every other variant of himself.
Oh.
And then the Sunday after that, Tasha, if you are interested, you are more than welcome, and you are invited to our Ahsoka breakdown. Which is gonna, it would pretty much let's see, Ahsoka comes out Thursday, the 23rd.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. And for those of you who don't know, Ahsoka is going to be a 2-episode premiere.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
Weren't
2-episode
we
premiere.
talking about that with Kira?
Were we?
No, with the other.
Oh,
What's her face? The one where you ruined everybody's day at the end of the
Oh
episode.
yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
But yeah, that week Ahsoka Tano, but also we're going to be doing our Fuck Prep Time T-shirt giveaway every 30 minutes. As long as you have followed us on Instagram and subscribed to us on Kick, and hashtag TSB giveaway in the comments. You have a chance to win a Fuck Prep Time t-shirt shipped straight to your house.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to try to be there. I will say that day is literally Lloyd's birthday.
Yeah.
So but I'm gonna try to come on because I love Ahsoka.
Absolutely, yeah. If you can make it, just hit me up. Like hell, even if we're mid show, hit us up. I'll send you the link. Hop in.
Okay.
Hop in. We already got a special guest coming on for the Kang episode.
And he refuses to reveal who it is yet. I don't even know who it is yet.
I haven't even told my team who it is.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep. He did say he's trying to pop in at the beginning of the show.
Okay.
He told me, he's like, yo, my schedule's busy, but I like what you got going. I want to be there. I want to say my piece at least like a few minutes, and then I'll be up out of y'all way, and y'all can keep going on the show. But so we got a special guest coming through. He got a busy schedule. So we at least gonna slip them in. These guys don't know. They ain't got not one clue yet, and it's gonna be lovely. So hey, if tune in, you guys tune in because you guys are gonna be able to probably not see the reaction, but you're gonna be able to hear the reaction because as everyone knows, we normally don't show our faces, only for interviews. So tune into the interviews.
You need to just do like a special camera moment right there and then cut it back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just beep, show cameras, guys. I got to see your reactions to this. But we working. Y'all working. We grinding. I love it. Black Gold. We are doing great. You're doing great. I love it. We gonna make sure that stays that way.
Thank you.
All right. And with that being said, this has been the Super Breakdown. Tune in next week for a Kang the Conqueror episode. Love you guys. We will, and check out the Kickstarter. I will keep saying it. Check out the Kickstarter. Stop playing around. Stop playing games. Check it out. Any last words? Anybody? Any last words?
Fuck Prep Time.
And remember, until next time.
No. That was a good way to go out.
Damn it.
Fuck Prep Time.
Know what? I do. Fuck Prep Time, and remember, midnight is coming.
Hey.
Hey.
Right there.